Okay, good morning. Scott here again from Tidy Bricks Landscaping. Today we are going to be starting a porcelain patio. And as you might be able to see behind me at the moment, there is already a porcelain patio. I'll come to that bit in a minute. So, okay, this is the patio. It's a lovely patio as well. Really nice. I don't know why I didn't bother filming this one. But the main reason we're doing this is because there was a colour variation towards the end of the job of the tiles. Ignore the black one in the corner because that's the tile we're going to be using today. But around here and there was a bit of a variation of colour and we couldn't match the batch numbers. So Marshalls have kindly sorted the situation by supplying new tiles and relay. So kudos for them for solving the problem. None of the other companies wouldn't have, but sometimes this does happen when you've got a variation with batch numbers, and unfortunately on this job we did. So we're resolving it today by pulling her up, whacker plating her all back down and relaying. So when I originally first to come around to see this job, the grass level here was higher than over that end, and we didn't want to have the water from the house running towards the grass because we'd have to dug that bit out and it would just look a bit rubbish. So what we've done, we put the eco drain in here right along the house, so the water from this side runs to the eco, but down the other end I've managed to get the water to run the opposite direction because the grass is lower over there. So I've done as much as I possibly could to not interrupt the grass levels and keep everything as good as possible. So these timbers I got there, I'm going to put some pegs all the way along the edge and I'm going to run my timbers to it. So when I'm actually laying the patio, from the eco drain to the timbers here, I can run my string lines that way, keeping everything dead level to the way it is at the moment, because it does actually work. So we're going to try and retain the levels by some profiles. So we're going to start off. I'm going to show you this Mosier again. Really good tool, made in the UK. It's basically an electronic tape measure, which I use with an app on my phone. And wherever I walk around the job, place it down, makes a beep, draws it out on here for me, and it tells me the linear meters and the meters squared. So, right, app's loaded up. Double tap this thing, start it off. Okay, it's making the flashing noise. So now I'll come round to the corner, I'll start here. Start measurement, press that. Put that on the corner. Oh, actually, bear with me, I've got to go onto my settings, turn Bluetooth on. Okay, Bluetooth is on. Okay, start measurement. Right, place it down. Right, now we've got to move this now to every corner. And it draws it out for me. Right, down to this corner now. Really great tool to use. Normally before I do, I would have to make a little sketch. Then I would walk around after, taking measurements. But this is doing it all for me. Technology, got to use it. Take it to this corner, then all the way back over to where I started. So this is what's come up on the screen. So I press finish measurement and it tells me how many meters, 44.7 meters squared and 37 linear meters. So thanks Mosier, using it on every job. It's just so damn handy. So yeah, cheers for that. Right, well, here's a query everybody always asks me about porcelain, on exactly how strong it actually is. So I think we'll do a little test. We're going to drop some stuff at, say, waist height, something like that. Drop it on the floor, see how actually tough these tiles are, and it'll also answer a couple of questions for myself too. Here we go then. People always ask about this, so let's try. Let's see. So, in the garden, you're always going to have pots and stuff, plants. So, let's see what happens when I drop it. Makes a mess for sure. And absolutely nothing wrong with the tile. So, let's step her up a bit. Let's go for a sledgehammer. I think that's a good enough height. So, as you can see, no damage at all. Right, let's try a brick. Brick's dropped on it, cracked, made a mess. Nothing wrong with it at all. So this is slightly more to the extreme. Concrete block. The concrete block's definitely got some strength. So let's try it. So, not a problem. Not a problem. Actually, maybe a little bit of a fracture, but there. But quite minimal. So we'll finish it off with a lump hammer. Nope, seems to be fine. Well, maybe a little bit of tile came off. But any questions on how strong porcelain tiles are? Hopefully that's sorted out for you. But I'm quite happy. Right, okay. So, well, we do have to break the first tile up to be able to get underneath it to actually start ripping everything up. So yeah, let's try it with this hammer. This is a Thor hammer, I call it. Yeah, I did get a crack there. Yeah. So if you're actually purposely hitting it with a big hammer, then it obviously is going to break. But dropping things on it, you should actually be fine. But yeah, don't literally grab it, because everything will definitely break. So we'll pull this up now and we get cracking. I thought I'd quickly film this bit because I got a new toy. Got a truck just pulled up now, and it's got a brand new table saw. I'm over the moon, so let's go have a quick look at it. Voila! Here is my Zoe 130 from Tyler Tools, which I follow on Twitter. They supply all the Marshalls guys with all their main tools, and this is my big spend. So yeah, can't wait to open her up and check it out. Check it out. Nice, proper saw. So we're going to dismantle it out of the box, take it around the back and have a little play. Morning, testing. Okay, morning everybody, back on the job again today, day 2. Got my new saw set up, and one thing I wanted to show you before I got too carried away lifting all the ground up. As you can see, full cement bed. Always gotta have to have a full cement bed. So there we go, that's quite cool. I can show you a bit of evidence of I do a full bed. Majority of it's out now, so just gonna run the whacker plate round. The levels are good, so that's always a good part to do. Ciao. Okay, so that's the whacker plating done. So yeah, whacker plating when you're doing it, if you're going to be doing it yourself, when you hire one, hire the biggest one they got, because it's all about weight. Some landscapers and stuff, they've only got small little whacker plates, which drives me insane, because the whole idea is something really heavy, whacking it down as solid as possible. Why hire a small one? When you do it, you've got to get the big beastie one. It might be heavy, it might be awkward, it might be this, it might be that, but it's going to be much better for compaction. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Right, okay, so levels, on how to do levels. Right, okay, so I know this corner over here from the previous patio which was there, so I know that's the level I want to go to. So I got a string line from the one end down to the ACO and the first tile in position. So back down to this end, past the squeaky wheelbarrow. So we got that one there. That's only a temporary tile. That's just to get my level. So I've gone from the ACO over to the corner where I want to go. So they're corresponding. And now I've got the string line from the end all the way up here. So as long as I'm touching this side and touching that side, then level should be fine. So we're going to start sticking the slabs down now. When it comes to really large slabs like this, it is actually hard to get the bed exactly right. So what we're going to do, we're going to level it around till we think it's about right, stick the tile on it, place the tile on it, just check that it's not low or too high in places, peel it back up, prime it, then glue it down. Smaller tiles are okay because you've only got a smaller area to work with, so you can get your bed height pretty correct. But because these are 800 by 800s, it's quite easy to be a little bit out. You could be a bit low and it's hard to lift up when it's been primed, or a bit too much cement and you've got to beat hell out of it to actually get it down to the levels. I don't want to go down that route. I want to make sure it's right from the start. And we're going to use some clips then as well from Tyler's tools. I'll show you those in a minute. Okay, we just dumped the slab on where it's going to go and the level seems to be fine, so we're going to wang a load of primer on there. Nice dollop full of it as well. I've actually got 4 tubs they've given me, so I don't need all of that, so we're going to lather it on really thick. Right, so we're going to use these clips today. I'll install these in a minute and show you how they go, but first of all I got to say thanks to Tyler Tools again. Same guy supplies my saw the other day. Yeah, so these clips are called Raymonde RLS Vite clips. They're used for outdoor porcelain between depths of 14 and 26 mil. So what they do, they just help lock the tiles together. So I've got 3 bags of these. They're about 30 quid each, something like that. So what I do, to get 2 clips, I'll stick one in there, one in there. We introduce the tile on top of it, then I use these little caps to screw on top, and it helps bond it together, stops it from moving. So thanks Tyler Tools, good man. I love your stuff, really helps my job. I'll film this bit I suppose. Right, okay, we got one of the slabs. Let's plonk them on. Okay, so tile's in position. So I'll tap it now over to where it's got to go. Soft part of the mallet. There we go. Let's wear that. So now these clips now from Tyler's Tools. I'm going to plonk that on there. spin it around. They are more useful with smaller tiles for sure, because smaller tiles will move a bit more because there's not much weight behind it. But we're still going to use these on here because they're good spacers. Plus, they do what they say on the tin. They really do help bond everything together. So, yeah, great product. If you're an amateur, this is the route you want to go down because it really does help. I totally forgot to mention ratio for the cement mix. So we're using 4:1 sharp sand, okay? 4:1 sharp sand, most important, sharp sand. So before I forget as well, I remember from my previous patio I did, porcelain patio, so many people saying that I need to do it on a concrete base, I'm doing it all wrong. Well, here in the UK, you don't have to put patios down on a concrete base. As long as you've got 100mm hardcore, type 1 MOT, compacted, and it's absolutely fine. You think of it, it's only foot traffic walking on it. It's not people, it's not cars and heavy vehicles and stuff. So you really don't need to lay a patio porcelain on a concrete base. So get that out of your heads, because you just don't have to. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, so that's day one of the tiles. I just give them a good soak down, a good clean over with a sponge. Quite reflective, aren't they, actually, when they're wet? Yeah, so swing. So we got to the corner. We'll turn up tomorrow, kick those clips off from Tyler's tools, and get cracking with the next row. So back on the job again, round two. I've got to kick these clips off. So this is only the second time I've actually used these, and I did have a couple of comments before about the right way to get them off and to kick them that way. So I forgot who said kick them that way, but he probably knows more than me because this is the second time I've ever used them. So we shall do what that guy said. Thanks for that. Right, okay, so testing, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay, so we're plonking them on now. Slabs are going down quite nicely, so that's good. Everything's working out the way it should go, so I'm happy with that. We'll give you another demo now because they're so big. We'll give you another demo of laying one down, getting it around about, lift it up a little bit if needs to be, take a bit off if needs be. When you've got approximately where you want it, then we're going to lift it up, then prime it, then stick it back down, and then stick the clips on it. So let's see how close this one is to the mark first. Okay, off my boots. Okay. So yeah, that's looking pretty good, pretty much around about where I want it. So we'll lift it back up now, stick it on the barrow, prime it, then we'll stick it down and seal it in. Right, okay, so that works out well. So let's lift this up and get the primer on it. Yeah, it's really hard sometimes for the bigger tiles to get it exactly right every time without having to beat hell out of it to get it into position. So it's slightly slower way of doing it, but then at least you know when you have actually glued them down, they're in the right spot. Because yeah, it's just smashing, beating, lifting, trying to raise it. So Lee's getting a nice dollop of primer on there now. There we got so much primer Marshalls have given us for this job. You're just laving it on there really, really thick. Right, okay, so he's ready now with that one. So I'll put the camera back down. We'll put in position. We'll start beating it then into place. Beating it into submission. Okay. So I'm going to balance it on my toes here first, so I can get a better position. Bollocks. I've got to put the things in, which I've been doing quite a lot lately. Okay. So dump that around about where it needs to go. Double check it a little bit. Still looks good. So we tap it down into position now, then lock it off then with the clips. Not long after this, I'll finally be able to use my saw. It's been sat there for about 3 days. I haven't turned it on yet. There we go. Happy with that position. Now screw these clips on. I do actually like these clips. I do actually like them because it acts as a spacer and it just locks them together. It's an extra little bit of faffing about, but no, I think it's really cool. Right, so that's where that needs to go. I'll just grab my brush then and just take any cement out of the joints. So yeah, pretty much it. So we've got only another one to do by there, then we've got to go to the other side of the manhole and lay some more, and then it's really going to be time then to set up the saw then and start putting all the cuts down. So normally I hate that part, doing the cuts, it's really annoying, but when you've got a really nice saw to do it with, it should actually be quite pleasurable. Hopefully. Right, peace. Testing testicles, testing testicles. Okay, so there we go. Got the got our whole ones down. So bank holiday weekend this weekend. So I'm helping somebody move house in Bristol. So I won't be doing much this weekend. But what's quite important, I don't know if you can see it there, see that little bit right in the middle of the screen? So I get all that stuff, make sure all that stuff's off. So I just go in round now with a hose, stirring every little bit possible, which could have a little bit of cement or a bit of primer, no bits like that. Quick rub your boot. Off they pop. Right, another one there. So that's just going to be the procedure now for the rest of the day. Just make sure it's cement free. Again. So back on the job this morning. Nice bank holiday. Got myself a haircut. Thanks Debs. Did a good job there. So right, time to try out the Zoe 130. I've had it since last week. I haven't actually used it yet, so can't wait to actually turn it on and start making a racket. So I got to chop a load in half first. I got about 10 halves I got to put down there. So we'll start it up and see how it goes. Right, game on. Let's make a noise. Oh yeah. That's the noise I wanted to hear. Okay, game on. Wow, I'm dead happy with that. Normally the last sword I'll go back and forth, but this one's so much powerful you can actually just do it, cut it in one go. You can actually put 2 tiles on top of each other and cut. It's that powerful. 3 horsepower engine. Right, okay, well, I don't want to bore you about that. I got to crack on. I got to lay some tiles, so let's start chopping some more. Testing testicles. Ba 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 ba. So one more good thing I've got to say about this saw as well, which I'm really quite liking, is these roller wheels there. They really do hold it in place. So all these little things, after using it for several days now, they're all starting to show themselves. So a good day on the saw. I've done loads of cuts today. So a little bit of a review of the Zoe 130. Friggin' awesome. Can actually trust this saw. My previous saw, I couldn't trust it. You had to keep checking dimensions all the time. But this one, you want to cut it at 35.5 centimeters or something like that. Bang, cut every single one. Precise. So yeah, it's turned out to be a really good saw. I can highly recommend it. So Zoe 130. If you haven't got one, get one. They're awesome. So we're gonna wrap it up now. We're gonna stick the Lee, my man, he thought it was a good idea to get a motorbike cover for it. Fair play, brilliant idea. So yeah, we're gonna cover it up now, wrap it up and tuck it in so it won't get cold. Right, I'll have to bend that thing down. Yeah, I got this from Halfords. One much, didn't cost much, but it's a good size. The main part, as long as the motor's covered, that's the main part. But yeah, good idea, motorbike cover actually. Much better than my idea, which is going to be one of those big hippo bags, which is just too big. So she's all wrapped up. She's good for another day. Purr, purr. Yeah, mental builder. Catch you later. Sunday afternoon, and I'm in work. I work Saturday as well till 5, something like that, on a different job. So back to this one now on Sunday to grout it all. Yeah, last part of the job. Love this part. Grout it up and off you pop. So first of all, I got to give her a massive clean down. I've got the actually, bear with me. Oh, back again. So this stuff from Lithrothin. This is what I'm going to use to clean the patio first before I grout it. So I've got to give it all a good clean. I've got my pressure washer, got my whisk, got several buckets of water, got my grout, got my brushes, got my sponges, got all my bits and bobs. So yeah, time to grout. So I'll give it a big clean first. Then what I'll do, I'll go around the outsides of the tiles and just block them off. So with a little bit of grout, I'll just make a small bit of grout up, block the ends off, so when I actually pour it on top, it's not going to seep out the joints and end up on the grass. So yeah, here we go. Right, game on, let's start cleaning. Okay, so just giving her a once over with a pressure washer, just to get some of the grime up. So yeah, looking good. Most of the grime's up. When you're doing it as well, you're not just cleaning the actual tile, you're actually removing any muck between the joints as well. So always make sure you got like a blade for a knife handy. Just if you see anything on the floor, you can scratch it up. So when you clean it, everything's spotless. So next stage now is to get the intensive cleaner for porcelain ceramic tiles. That's diluted now into there, ratio of 1 to 10. So I'll give all that a good clean off, then I'll show you the next bit. Okay, so patio's had a good clean now, so that's ready now for the next stage. So I've made up a little bit of grout. So what I'm going to do with this grout now, I'm just going to block up the ends all around the patio, and that'll stop everything from seeping into the grass area. Oh, shattered. It's been 6 o'clock Sunday. I'm still at it. Oh well, as you can see behind me, all done, all cleaned, all nice. Yeah, glad to get this job wrapped up. It was really unfortunate, like I said from the start, but there was a bit of a colour issue with some of the tiles down the bottom end. But yeah, you know, these things do happen. It's the first time it's happened to me. But yeah, kudos to Marshalls for solving it, because otherwise a lot of companies wouldn't have. Right, I'm going to spin the camera around now and let you have a closer look at it. So here's the charcoal with some clouds in the background. It's great, this black stuff, because it really shines. So yeah, this is a charcoal colour. It doesn't look too charcoaly at the moment because it's wet. But yeah, brilliant stuff, this stuff. It's much harder to put down, I must admit. It's much harder to do, but it's better than coming back in a couple of weeks' time and the customer's saying, oh, it's gone all green, because that's the algae sticking to it. But this stuff, it won't go green. So yeah, one more closer look. And there's me right in the middle of it, screwing it all up. Oh, that didn't work out too well. Well, anyway, I'm going home. I'm knackered. So if you liked the video, like and subscribe, and we'll show you what else is coming up next.